Hi. But Aaron, I thought your first video back was gonna be a morning routine video. You hinted towards it over here in your channel post. Where's that video? Whatever happened to that? Ted happened. Theodore Kennedy Nivison Jr. happened. Now, I will say my video idea was a bit different, and while I am not in favor of the argument of, oh, popular YouTuber made video ideas similar to yours, guess you can't do that video anymore. I'll be honest here, I felt very little motivation in making the video while I was making it. It didn't feel fun. It didn't feel like a fun video that I wanted to do. It felt more like a chore, and that's the last thing that I want a video to be like for me. So since Ted already made his video, I just decided to just scrap it outright. But to make up for it is this video, one that I'm actually excited to make as opposed to the previous one, considering the fact that this has been in the drafts for like a year now. Now, I'm sure you're all familiar with the TV cable channel VH1. What was originally supposed to be like an MTV2, not to be confused with MTV2. VH1 later became a kind of music-centric reality show channel. You probably know them for shows like Love and Hip Hop and Wild 'N Out.
I make eggs, and usually I scramble them, but for you, I would fertilize them.
And sometime during the mid-2000s, VH1 just decided to go all in on reality TV and made like 500 different shows, most of them not even lasting a couple of months. There was Flavor of Love, a dating game show where a bunch of attractive young singles competed for the love of American rapper Flava Flav, which ran for 3 seasons, so I think I have a good idea on how successful those relationships ended up being. There was Tool Academy, where a bunch of alpha male brick brains were taught how to be genuine human beings for the first time thanks to their partners. There was Megan Once a Millionaire, a bachelorette style show where 17 rich single men had to compete for the love of young single Megan, which ended up being canceled after 2 weeks because one of the contestants murdered his wife. And there was I Want to Work for Diddy, which was probably the worst age show in the entire world. The cover for it doesn't help because it looks like one of those Netflix true crime documentaries. It kind of reminds me of the new Mr. McMahon documentary on Netflix because it has the same color scheme, so it's very fitting. And last but not least, the show that we're going to be talking about in this video, Ego Trip's The White Rapper Show. Around this time, shows like Survivor and Big Brother were all the rage, mainly because a part of their show involved bringing in genuine people from all walks of life and documenting the differences amongst themselves. And I guess the people at VH1 saw all these people from different walks of life, of different races, religions, sexual orientations, etc., and were like, oh, I got the perfect idea. Let's do this show, but do the exact fucking opposite. Ego Trip's The White Rapper Show was a competition reality show centered around 10 up-and-coming, specifically white rappers looking to make it big. Hosted by MC Search of Third Base, these aspiring white rappers were sent over to the Bronx, the birthplace of hip-hop, to learn from some of the hip-hop greats in order to improve their skills in hopes of making it to the end and winning the grand prize of $100,000, which, I don't know, you can throw in like a record deal or something. According to Search's reunion special episode of his podcast in 2020, getting signed with a record label was the original plan for the show, but none of the record labels that they contacted wanted to do it, which I feel like would just disqualify the show idea entirely, but okay. And avoiding spoilers, it turns out that Kanye West and his record label really wanted to sign one of the contestants, but once they lost in the finale, they just decided not to go through with it, which, like, you know you can still sign them, right? Though I am talking about the same guy that did all this, so I'm not exactly surprised. But this show has a bunch of cameos from hip-hop icons, hip-hop greats like Joel Santana, Prince Paul, Fat Joe, Kid Rock. Because, you know, when you think of the hip-hop greats, you think of this guy, whose best performing songs include Bawitdaba, which is a rock song, and All Summer Long, which is country. I get in the early days before this show aired, he was mainly known for hip-hop, but like, this guy? Seriously? So we're just going to be looking at episode 1 here. The original idea was doing the whole series, but this video would be 5 billion hours long. But if you guys do want to watch the full series, it is on YouTube for free. You can watch it there. But before I get into the actual episode, this is a legit clip from the intro.
Get a chance to prove their lyrical prowess.
I'm like a prodigy and I'm here to teach you. Your little daughter say, Daddy, why he beat you?
And fight to stay in the game.
What happened? On a show about white rappers trying to make it big. Where in this show does this come in? In fact, a lot of the stuff that they show in the beginning trying to hook you into watching the series, very little has to do with, you know, rapping, playing Family Feud and talking about black stereotypes.
Black stereotypes that blacks secretly believe are true.
Large penises.
A dude crashing out on a bicycle, and a woman just being taken away in an ambulance. Anyway, according to the show, they're in the final round of auditions trying to select the 10 official contestants to be on the show. Also, according to the show, there were thousands of audition tapes.
After screening thousands of audition tapes, we are here at the final auditions.
Now, one would quite reasonably assume that, considering the fact there were thousands of auditions, that the top 35 should be good, right? Right? Let's just take a look at some of the people that auditioned. There's Dassit, a 29-year-old from Toledo, Ohio, and what I believe SpongeBob SquarePants would look like if he was a human being. He's pretty good, but he's mainly known for two things: looking like this and sounding kind of like Eminem.
That's it, build another skyscraper to look up at. Man, I am the way I am and I ain't gonna change. The way these girls follow me, they call me Soap Train.
Kind of. The main problem about this show, especially in 2007, was a lot of the people that auditioned aren't very original. They try their best to be exactly like Eminem without being exactly like Eminem, if that makes sense. You can very much tell on this show who's trying to be Eminem 2.0. There's John Brown, whose first words when called up were none other than,
Want to step up, man?
What's pimpulating?
"What's pimpulating?" John Brown is a full-on character with catchphrases and everything.
My name is John Brown, king of the burbs. I choose to move like a king. That's what makes me the king of the burbs.
Do you have thug credentials?
Yo, what's really hood, man? Suburbia.
You know, suburbia. 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 He has 3 catchphrases that he likes to use literally all the time. And I'm not exaggerating, he uses one like every other sentence. There's hallelujah holla back.
Hallelujah, holla back. Hallelujah, holla back.
Hallelujah, holla back.
Hallelujah, holla back. Hallelujah, holla back. Hallelujah, holla back.
King of the burbs.
King of the burbs, king of the burbs.
King of the burbs, king of the burbs, king of the burbs, king of the burbs,
King of the burbs, king of the burbs, king of the burbs.
And ghetto revival.
Ghetto revival, ghetto revival.
get a revival, get a revival, get a revival, get a revival, get a revival.
What do those mean, you may ask? Hell if I know. There's Miss CKC, who is somehow an even bigger character than John Brown.
Miss CKC, step to the plate.
That's me. Miss CKC from Oswego, New York. I grew up in a small town with more cows than people. Cows are great to rap about. You know, it's a whole black and white thing.
Cows are great to rap about. Are they? Just like a cow, I'm out standing in my field. I got nothing, man. I'm sorry.
Why do you love hip-hop?
Because it embodies my soul. It lets me flow and go where I want to go and be who I want to be. See what I want to see. NYC, Miss CKC.
There's Shamrock from Atlanta, Georgia, who's good and all, but the question that they ask this man, just to keep in mind, the previous question that Search asked CKC was, why do you love hip-hop?
Why do you love hip-hop?
So just take a guess as to what they ask Shamrock.
My name's Shamrock from Atlanta, Georgia.
You comfortable with the term?
Now, I censored it just in case, but the word is that one racial slur, we all know the one, but the first letter is replaced with a W, which, oh my god, dude, out of all questions, Miss CKC got, why do you love hip-hop? And this is the question that Shamrock gets? And to Shamrock's credit, he answered it flawlessly.
You know, I think it's really an ignorant term because, you know, there's a play on another ignorant term. Basically, you know, if someone wants to call me that, they don't know me. I've been a living, breathing part of hip-hop since, you know, I can move.
Let me be clear, great answer to the question. He should not have had to answer that. It's like those Miss America beauty pageants where someone will ask one of the models an incredibly hard-hitting moral dilemma question that they have 30 seconds to answer.
The savagery of the ISIS threat to our security was demonstrated by the gruesome videos of 2 journalists and an aid worker being beheaded. What should our country's response be?
All in a contest that's basically just who is the best looking. All right, let's see. There's Forever Man.
I give a about you. About you. I give a if you choked on my and your face turned blue.
Holy fucking shit. Peter Party.
They wear more glitter than us. They want my in the. You're about to see Peter Party on TV, cause I'm about to reach celebrity status.
These are the finalists, by the way. Thousands of audition tapes, multiple rounds of auditions. And this is the final 35? Now, it begs the question, who got cut before that? If this is what makes it to the final 35, what doesn't? You know what I mean? And now it is time for Vulgar Verses with Miss CKC. The part of the show where Miss CKC sings a vulgar verse. Without further ado, Vulgar Verses with Miss CKC.
I don't care if you are lonely, or maybe you're forlorn. If I wanted to see ass cheeks, I'd go home and watch porn,
Now, real quick, I want to direct your attention to this person here, Mr. Napkins.
Too many bus mics, but too repetitive. Butt wipes, your blood type must be B negative.
Now, if you were on the internet around the same time that I was, you probably already know what I'm gonna say. Now, when I was first watching this, my first thought when I saw Mr. Napkins was, man, he kind of looks like Zach Sherwin from Epic Rap Battles of History. You know, the guy that played several historical figures like Albert Einstein and Alexander the Great. So I did some digging, and turns out, that is Zach Sherwin. The same Zach Sherwin that is in this ERB video that has 137 million views. And spoiler alert, he doesn't make it on the show, but technically, I would say that this makes him the most successful person to come out of the White Rapper show. And he wasn't even an official contestant. Outside of the host and the several guests on this show, he's quite literally the only person that I recognized out of this entire group 18 years later. And then there is the greatest of all time, my personal pick to win this show. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the one, the only, MC Mighty Stefan!
So what they say, was machst du mal Jiddisch, what up? Gunnisch mit Gunnisch, die jiddische Cup. Uralu, keep it Yiddish. Friday night I say Kiddish. And then I drink Glenfiddich.
I mean, come on. Is it even close at this point? I mean, what's the point in even going through with the show anymore? Just give him the money. He's obviously gonna win. And now it is time for Vulgar.
Now, I know I shouldn't say this. I know it isn't right, but you guys, I had a C-section. That's high and tight, y'all. No forceps here. High and tight, y'all. I didn't even push. Peace.
But the 10 that they did select were John Boy, Persia, John Brown, somehow he made it on here, Sully, Shamrock, 100 Proof, G-Child, School Picture Day Dassit, Just Rhyme, and Misfit. Wait, MC Mighty Stefan didn't make the cut? But what about his Limfidish, or whatever the hell he just said? What's he gonna drink now? Justice for my boy MC Mighty Stefan. You absolutely deserved to be on this show. They knew you were gonna win, so they cut you early. Anyway, the 10 contestants make it to the Bronx and take a look at where they will be living for their tenure on the show. The White House. The spelled T-H-A, so you know it's cool. So they enter the house and start settling in, and almost immediately, Persia finds a dead cockroach in the bathtub.
It's a roach in the bathroom.
What? You're lying.
No, it's a roach in the bathroom.
100 Proof also finds a trash can with the words white trash on top of it.
Thanks. White trash with no class, day in, day out.
And like, I know what they're going for here, you know, using stereotypes and references for funny little jokes, but this is like J.K. Rowling level of on the nose at this point. John Brown is, you know, John Browning.
This looks like it could definitely be part of the ghetto revival, you know what I'm saying?
Speaking of Misfit, as all great reality shows have almost every single season, Sully starts developing feelings for Misfit.
You know what I have? You know what I feel sorry for? When everybody gets drunk?
Oh, I feel real bad for Misfit when everybody gets hammered. When everybody's wasted, everybody's like, Misfit, come in, baby. She's dope. Everybody knows she's dope. She knows she's dope. I know she's dope. Everybody in this room knows she's dope. She knows I know she's dope.
Well, that is probably the most uncomfortable 15 seconds of television that I've ever watched. I feel like there are so many better ways to portray Misfit as the attractive person that everyone's fawning over. Definitely better than, ooh, look at Misfit. Ooh, look at her walk. She's walking like how a normal person walks, but hotter. Also, was the cameraman told they were making these edits prior to filming those shots? Or was he not told that and was just filming Misfit and panning down her body just because. On the first day, people start getting suspicious of John Brown and his nickname King of the Burbs and his ghetto revival, whatever that means.
How'd you get your name? King of the Burbs. I still don't really get that.
Which, spoiler alert, he doesn't really explain at all.
Because if I was my own entity and I wasn't connected to a ghetto revival, I'd still be on some King of the Burbs.
John Brown trying to explain his catchphrases and what they mean is like playing Mad Libs with a Pokemon.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not an artist, I'm not a rapper.
Ego Trips, the White Rapper Show. You're not a rapper, but you're on the White Rapper Show. Can we bring back Stefan, for heaven's sake? Let my man drink his lymphidish. Anyway, John Brown continues this charade of explaining his nicknames and catchphrases without explaining them at all. So much so that it starts getting under the skin of Persia.
Why wouldn't you want to get down with the ghetto revival?
Cause I don't believe nothing y'all say. Sound like bull to me. Nobody understands how King of the Burbs goes in to get a revival.
Of course not, because I'm the King of the Burbs.
No, dude, you're not getting it. I'm the King of the Burbs, and I'm gonna launch a ghetto revival in the Burbs because I am the King of the Burbs, and the Burbs is gonna revive the ghetto of the Burbs. I'm King of the Burbs. But it is now time for their first challenge of the show. So they're split into 2 groups of 5, and they have to walk down the street to the other houses, introduce themselves to their new neighbors, and do a freestyle verse for them. Now before the challenge, Search gives them a bunch of little gift bags that they have to give to their new neighbors. And in it includes a shirt and wife beater that says "I love white rappers" in the front, which a pack of saltine crackers, gee, I wonder why, and also a mystery sealed envelope that they are not allowed to look inside of. It is John Brown, Misfit, 100 Proof, Dassit, and John Boy versus Persia, Shamrock, G-Child, Just Rhyme, and Sully.
We here, just wanted to, introduce ourselves, and you know what I'm saying, and we're gonna give you a little example of what we do.
I was confused when I seen the white rappers coming down the block. I was wondering what was going on, you know what I mean?
I'm not even being facetious at all here. If a group of 5 white dudes I didn't know went up to my house with "I love white rapper" shirts, asking if they could rap for me, I would want to crawl out of my skin so fast. They are not helping these people out, let me tell you.
I gotta change it up, I'm always running down the middle, so I gotta play action pass, get these defenders backing off me a little.
Dorset is good. I see him as the next Eminem.
I mean, respectively, it's only because he's trying to sound like Eminem. Again, not saying he's bad at all, but I feel like what Dassit really has going for him at this point is the fact he's basically just doing an Eminem impression. Despite this, Dassit definitely stands out with the rest of his teammates just doing meh or just downright bad.
Always in the mix like Betty Crocker, but when it comes to making dough, I always do it proper. I know y'all know a little something about that.
Hey guys, Editing Aaron here. So while editing this video, I realized I completely skipped over Team Persia's segment in this episode, but I will say nothing special really happens other than Persia doing so well that some of the other people start battle rapping her.
I might sound cocky and it might sound funny, but stay the out my lane, y'all can't outrun me.
When them cops all come, I'ma be right here, cause I'm a G. Get it right, I don't know no fear. She's so hood, man.
And also, whatever the hell G-Child said here.
That help is fire, man.
Me being a white girl in the Bronx, I thought people were probably gonna look at me, I thought people were gonna bust some caps, but...
So back to the video. The competition ends and everyone decides to celebrate being on this show with a few drinks. Everyone gets to just have a good time, get along with each other, and what's that? A massive fight involving half of the house just happened?
You's a bitch, yo. You gotta get fast, you gon' battle?
Yo, which one do, son? Come on!
Well, it was fun while it lasted, I guess.
John Brown is a bitch, he the clown of the house. I got a dildo in my drawer, I can put it.
Hallelujah, holla back, baby.
Holla these nuts, bitch.
Do your thing. Yo, girl, I don't know where you got nuts from, but
You
yo,
really sleep at night?
holla
You sleep
back,
at
baby.
night knowing all the bull that you do?
Now, I have no idea if it is intentional or if it's just how John Brown is normally, but him just regurgitating the same catchphrases while Persia is getting increasingly more pissed is so funny to me.
Yo, girl, I got too much game for you. Too much.
You got game? Baby, spit it. Spit it. I give you saliva to spit it with, you dry mouth slut.
And somehow, I don't know what happened to lead to this, but Sully randomly proceeds to butt in and get mad at John Brown for some reason.
I'm telling you for real, you need to slow the down before you get yourself hurt and confused on
Apparently, it was because John Brown was throwing shots at Persia, a woman.
Sully butted in just because he was taking some shots at Persia, and you know, with her being a female, I guess Sully found that very wrong and disrespectful.
But like, did you not hear what Persia was just saying? Persia was calling him a dry-mouthed slut, threatening to put a dildo in his face. And all John Brown was saying back was, I'm just too cool for school, broski.
Get your weight up, not your hate up.
But yeah, Sully gets more and more pissed, and what proceeds to happen is what I think to be the best moment in the show and one of the best moments in television history.
Why don't you holler at me? Yo, what you wanna do, son? Come on!
Oh my god. He tripped over a whole ass chair and fell down trying to square up to John Brown. I am of the opinion that that is probably the single most embarrassing thing that you could ever do. Trying to act intimidating and trying to fight someone only to trip and fall flat on your face. But do you all remember like 3 minutes ago where Persia threatened to put a dildo in John Brown's face? Can you guess what happens next?
Exactly! Yeah, you gotta get that
Persia brings out a dildo and put it on that man's mouth.
Okay, now keep in mind, all of this was because John Brown was just a little bit repetitive and annoying. That's it.
That's it.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about you, that's it. No, go over there. Oh, and don't worry, it gets even worse from there.
You gonna battle? You a real fashion gonna battle?
And there we have it, folks. We found the first white rapper contestant to use the N-word. Let's go! Go ahead and give yourself a pat on the back if you're one of the 99% of people that thought this was gonna happen at some point during the show. She doesn't just say it once either, no. She says it 7 times.
Only because you want the to hit you first and go home, right? You don't want to battle, you just want the to hit you first.
Just Rhyme tries getting her to stop, saying that her use of the N-word bothers him.
You a bitch!
Would you mind please not using the N-word? It's bad.
The N-word is not appropriate.
Hey, the N-word is not appropriate. The N-word is a bad word that hurts people. It's a no-no word. Don't say that. Groundbreaking information, I must say. No, but genuinely, I appreciate him for at least calling her out on this. But not only does she not reciprocate those feelings, she proceeds to say it another like 3 times before walking out. Now, obviously, this isn't a hot take or a bombshell, but saying the N-word as a white guy, not that cool. Thankfully, however, she is punished for this later. The morning after, Search comes out and gives Persia this massive metal chain with this giant emblem with the word N-word encrusted onto it. Which, seeing this clip of them unveiling the shiny N-word chain is probably the most surreal thing that I've ever seen. Search says the use of that word is not cool and should not be used no matter what.
That word don't play here.
And her punishment for using it multiple times is she has to go out and play mini golf while wearing this giant heavy chain around her neck. That's right, she has to go out in public wearing this. And what's even worse is in the beginning, she's completely fine with it. She feels absolutely no remorse saying it, smiling, laughing, and saying she'd do it all over again.
This chain was worth putting him in his place.
No, it wasn't.
It really was.
It really wasn't.
This jewelry thing is getting out of hand.
What you think about her chain? Is it heavy?
Yeah, very, very heavy.
I thought I'd never have to say this, but thank God that worker was white. I could only imagine the reaction to that chain if a black person saw it, even in 2007. But after a little while, Persia finally sees the error of her ways after she has trouble playing golf.
I'm embarrassed that I called him out for being an idiot. Then I sounded just like an idiot. I'm so ashamed.
Not from Just Rhyme calling her out on it, not from Search telling her she has no right to use that word, not even from being told she had to wear a giant metal chain with the word N-word encrusted into it, in public, mind you. But her struggle to play mini golf is what finally made her realize that what she did was wrong. And to the show's credit, realizing the error of your ways only when it affects you directly, pretty white, I must say. After that whole fiasco, they make it back to the White House and Search arrives.
It is not a game, people!
To let the other contestants know that Elimination is coming up. And for Elimination, they have to wear these sneakers with their name airbrushed onto them. And when they do get eliminated, they have to return those sneakers back to Search, where he will hang them up on a wire. Do you think in the writer's room they were listing as many stereotypes as they possibly could that they could use for this show, and one of the executives was just like, fuck it. Let's just do them all. Let's just use them all and get them all out of the way. This shit isn't surviving another season. During the elimination, Search reveals that in the envelope was a questionnaire that the neighbors had to fill out and basically rate their rapping skills. And whichever team did better won the competition, and whichever team did worse were up for elimination. And Search announces that the winning team was, drumroll please, Persia's team, meaning that the people that are up for elimination are 100 Proof, That's It, John Brown, John Boy, and Misfit. How elimination works is if you are on the losing team and are up for elimination, you have 30 minutes to write a verse about the given subject that Search assigns to you in the ice chamber, do. And once the 30 minutes are up, you perform the verse to Search, and whoever he thinks had the worst verse out of all of them will be eliminated. And the topic for this round's elimination is make a verse on your experience in the South Bronx so far.
Since you had this experience in the Bronx, I need you to write a verse about your experience in the Bronx.
Quite literally the simplest topic ever. Not saying it won't take any effort, but considering that these are the top 10 out of the thousands of applicants, they should have this in the bag, right? They should have this in the bag.
That's it. You ready?
Yeah.
Go ahead, man.
I didn't write anything.
What?
No, I didn't write anything at all.
Dude, come on, man. You literally had the best chance to survive out of these 5 people because you were the only one that had even a little bit of effort into your freestyle verse. And all that's asked of you is to write 16 lines about your experience in the South Bronx. And you don't write anything. I'm not gonna give you guys any kind of suspense. That's It goes home, obviously.
I mean, I'm just not inspired to sit around and say write something on a piece of paper. One thing, I like listening to music and writing songs. So if I don't hear no music and you're supposed to just sit there and write something, I just don't do that.
That's not what you do, but it is, because you've been doing it the whole time. Every verse that he's dropped on this show has been a cappella. You very clearly don't need it to write 16 bars. I don't think that it takes someone from the hip-hop industry to say that almost every single hip-hop artist can write a song without music. I feel like it's a very basic skill that every single successful hip-hop artist has, and it's something that clearly he has as well. He can freestyle with no music just fine. We saw that during his audition and during the competition. So just write down your freestyle, man. Even if you couldn't, what's the point of even being on this show if you're not gonna challenge yourself at all? The whole point of shows like this are to take you outside of your comfort zone so you can actually learn something and learn how to get better. So like, what do you mean that's not what you do? If that's not what you do, then why are you on the show? I'm telling you, man, they should have picked Stefan.
Keeping it Yiddish.
But yeah, that's basically the White Rapper Show. I really wanted to make a video on the whole series start to finish, but one, that video would be like an hour long and there's not much to talk about in the later episodes. And two, I haven't posted a video in like 5 months. I gotta give you guys something. If you guys do want me to talk about the rest of the show or another insane VH1 reality show, please put it in the comments below because don't worry, there are plenty. In terms of my opinion on this show, it's definitely a show that only needs 1 season. And it's probably one of the most unhinged ideas for a reality show that I've ever seen, especially considering the people that applied to be in it.
They want my in the.
But despite the mass amount of cringe moments, I think it is absolutely worth watching. It's one of those shows that is so ridiculous that it's kind of entertaining. I've seen a lot of mixed reviews on the show as well. On IMDb, one guy is just going in on how much he hates the show and just hip-hop in general. And editing Aaron here, I was going to talk about this dude's IMDb page because he had a list of quote left-wing bias and propaganda in movies and TV that had over 3,000 titles in it. But right as soon as I got to this point in the editing stage and was going to go screenshot it, he just deleted it, and for some reason I didn't screenshot it beforehand, so now I have no proof that this guy actually made the list. But yeah, I was literally talking about this dude for like 5 minutes and there goes all that footage. But yeah, sorry for this outro getting cut short, but back to video me. Anyway, in short, like the video if you liked it, dislike the video if you disliked it, and if you really like this video, consider subscribing and looking at my other videos as well. Anyways, next video will be here shortly. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye!
Had enough of those pesky whack MCs? Now there's a solution.
They're all simple.
The White Rapper Show is brought to you by Step On.